Arabi means to me pride, means culture, and it's something that I will always carry. It's something where my heart is in terms of like my identity. So this is where Bil Arabi is. And I think even if you're not an Arab living in this part of the world and in this region, and if you've got to know the culture, people start relating to the brand, and this is something I think it's an achievement. I get my inspiration from obviously the Arabic language and letters and words of love. It is something very dear to me and something I'm very proud of. But if you look at the brand and how it evolved, you would see that typography is very strong. So we started with very basic design of the letter with a very basic calligraphy. And then with time, 14 years down the road, you can tell that the calligraphy has become more of a design aspect. So you can see how beautifully it's done, or how abstract it became. So you don't see the letters any longer in certain designs. So it's more about typography and how you put this calligraphy into play and into place. In establishing my brand, the biggest challenges were actually knowing the business itself. I'm not a business person. I became an entrepreneur. So it was learning new things on a daily basis, especially when it comes to numbers, how you put margins on products and stuff like that. That was all new to me. And it was challenging. And I would say it's still challenging, kind of. But at the same time, it's also what was nice about the journey is getting to know things you don't know and learning things you never thought you would learn. And this is how it all came together, and with time, everything happened. I mean, to create that buzz or that focus or that flair for Bil Arabi globally or regionally has always been the uniqueness of the brand and the way we design things and the way we portray ourselves. We don't produce mass, we produce for a certain amount of consumers, if you want. Everything is customized. The collections, we launch them, then we customize a lot. So this kind of a niche thing, we can find, it has always been a plus, but we can tell that nowadays more and more people want something unique, something special, and this is what they come here for. They come for Bil Arabi for that. I'm not a person who looks at the future in terms of planning or looking at in 5 years what I'm going to do. I work organically. I work because I love what I do. So it's day by day. The future, you never know. I mean, would you have known what would have happened in 2020? You wouldn't. Would you have expected? So I guess we've learned not to plan too much. Obviously, 2020 came as a surprise to a lot of people. We had big hopes for it, and it sounded so nice and beautiful. But we have to be thankful, and we are blessed that we are still in good health. That's first and foremost. Regarding the brand, I would say we've learned a lot. We've learned to manage our stock. We've learned to manage our production. We are more careful because our sales went slightly down. Slightly is an understatement, but no, alhamdulillah, we're doing well. But it also asks us to focus on our online, to be closer to our clients and see exactly what they want. Their behavior has changed, and we can see that they're more willing to buy higher price point on the online because now they have nowhere else to go and try them. So they are more courageous in doing so, which is great for us. And this is where we need to focus more and more. It's not a fascination about the Arabic language as such. I know it's a beautiful language. It's a very rich and very complex and yet subtle and beautiful language. But my take on that is I come from a Arab nationalist household, and it's something very dear to my heart. And we've learned that we needed to speak Arabic, we needed to be proud Arabs. And after the events of such as 9/11 and onwards, the light was shed differently on the Arab world, and we were all looked at, I don't want to say terrorist, but that was the take on it. and that kind of struck a chord with me, and I wanted to express that in a form of art. And then it became obviously the jewelry brand, which was not a plan, but this is something that I wanted to do and something dear to my heart, and I wanted to, if I may say, raise the flag of the Arab world.